Welcome to the Employer Education Series eSERS tutorial on contribution errors and warnings. When a contribution file is uploaded or created manually, the detail records contained within the file will go through a validation process. During this process, the system looks for any information within the file that is inaccurate or questionable. If the validation process finds contribution records within the file that are in fact incorrect or questionable, errors or warnings will appear for the corresponding records. When a file is uploaded and there are errors or warnings on any of the records, a message will be delivered to your eSERS message board to advise you that there are records that need to be corrected before the file can post. If you receive a message on your message board indicating a contribution file has errors or warnings, the corrections must be made before you can submit the file for posting. Once logged into eSERS, select Contribution File Correction and Manual Contribution Entry in the Employer Reporting panel. The file with errors or warnings will be in review status within the Unposted Employer Reporting header panel. Click the hyperlinked header ID to open the correct file. You will be directed to the Employer Reporting header maintenance screen. The Employer Reporting header maintenance screen displays information for each record uploaded or manually entered into eSERS. A user is able to view records that are valid, need to be corrected, or have been voided, as well as view a list of all errors for the record within the file and pull individual records within that file. The Validation Information panel can list any of the following. An error is an item that will prevent the record from being posted in the system. You cannot suppress an error. A warning is an item that will not prevent the record from being posted. However, the user must first acknowledge the warning and either update the record or click the Suppress Warning checkbox and will need to provide a reason for suppressing that warning. And information is simply an informational message that has no effect on a user's ability to submit a record. It is designed to draw attention to an event that might require a follow-up in the future. A helpful tip is that warning messages are resolved by using the suppress warning function and providing a reason. However, the warning will remain on the record once the file is submitted for posting. An SERS employee will review all records that were submitted with a suppressed warning. You may receive a phone call from an employer services representative if any further questions arise from the suppress warning reason. You are able to view records that require correction by clicking on one of the following. The Review hyperlink in the Status Count panel. You can click on the individual contribution record ID in the Contribution Information panel, or you can click on the Count hyperlink in the Validations panel in the Employer Reporting header maintenance screen. Today, we are going to open our records by clicking on the Contribution Record ID. The first record we have has an error and a warning. So this file cannot become valid without addressing the error and/or suppressing the warning and providing a reason. In this contribution, it looks like there are 54 service days being reported between this earnings period. Typically, when an individual is being reported with higher service days, they are a coach, and you can report this many service days within the small earnings period. You would do that by changing the earnings code from an O1 regular contribution to an O2 supplemental. This earning code allows for a higher number of service days to be reported within a small period, typically for your coaches. Once you change the earnings code, hit Save. By clicking Save, the error and warning disappear. To return back to the header maintenance screen, You want to click on the Employer Reporting Header Maintenance link within the navigation path. Once you've returned to the Employer Reporting Header Maintenance screen, to work on the second file that needs to be corrected, click on the Contribution Record ID within the Contribution Information panel. In this record, the hours must be greater than 0 and the service days must be greater than 0. If you look at this record, the employee pre-tax contribution is $7,000 and the employee earnings submitted is $70,000. It's quite possible that this is a bonus or a supplemental payment. If this is a bonus, we ask that you request a compensation determination so that we can determine if this is in fact considered eSERS compensation. But in this example, we're going to call this payment a severance payment. Severance is not considered eSERS compensation. So at this point, we need to void this record off of this file. So to do that, we want to click on the Employer Reporting Header Maintenance link in the navigation path. In the Contribution Information panel, you want to checkmark the box next to the contribution record that you want to void. Please take notice that there are two void buttons in this screen. The Void File button will void the entire file that you have uploaded or manually entered into the system. The Void Record button within the Contribution Information panel will void the one record that you have selected in this panel. Go ahead and click Void Record. When you void record, the Contribution Information panel will automatically populate each file that has been uploaded within this file. To get it back to the original settings of your review files, click Refresh. By clicking Refresh, you only have one file left to work on. Click on the Contribution Record ID for the file that you need to correct. In this contribution record, the error status is that the enrollment is required for the member. In this example, we need to enroll Bugs Bunny. From the contribution record, click on Manual Enrollment Entry. Click New. You will want to enter in all of the required information to enroll your member. You will want to enter in all of the required information to enroll your employee. Once you've entered in all of the needed information, click Save. When you click Save, the enrollment process runs the record through the same validation process your contribution files run through. If eSERS finds anything questionable, you will receive errors or warnings within the validation information panel. This warning cell phone number is requested. While it's not a required field, we ask that if you have the cell phone number to please enter it in at this time. I'm going to suppress the warnings and click Save. When you click Save, your record becomes valid. Make sure once you click Save and your record is valid that you hit Submit for posting. Your enrollment will not be submitted unless you hit Submit for posting. To go back to your contribution record, click on Contribution File Correction. And click on the header ID for your file that's in review. When the header maintenance screen opens, you notice that your file that needs the enrollment is still in review status. To have your record become valid, click on the contribution record ID. From here, hit Save. Your contribution record will have to run through the same validation process so that eSERS can find the enrollment that you just entered. When you click Save, your record will become valid. If for any reason your file does not become valid, do not enter in another enrollment. Please call Employer Services and we will research as to why your file is still in review status. Since your record status is valid and your header status is valid, you're able to submit your file for posting. From here, click on the Employer Reporting Header Maintenance screen in the navigation path. You are able to click Submit for Posting. Once your file has posted, your liability will appear in the payment remittance application. These were quick and brief errors and warnings that a user could potentially encounter. For any specific errors and warnings that you receive, please call Employer Services for guidance. Thank you for watching.